here we are. Welcome in, everyone. This is Morning Journal session number 223, and I am your host. They call me G. I'm glad that you made it to... Hold on. So your boy forgot to hit record on the outside joint. All right, here we go. Welcome to Morning Journal session number 222. Why is this joint not jumping? All right, we raggedy this morning, ain't we? Here we go. For real this time. All right, for real this time. Here we are. Welcome to Morning Journal session number 223. I am your host, G. Thank you for coming in and spending a little bit of time with me. Glad to have you. Glad to have you. We do Morning Journal live Monday through Friday at 6 a.m. Eastern Time. And if you are joining us live right now, coming in live right now, and you're like, well, why is it 6:30? And you said, why we just started? We do start at 6 in the VIP. Get the conversation rolling, get warmed up. So if you would like to experience the behind the scenes or the first few prompts, the bonus content, you can find the links to the VIP in the description of this live. And also, if you're listening on Apple or Spotify or any other podcast platform, you can find that in the show notes. Also, let me say, if you are listening, we got some shared. Love that. If you are listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, leave us a rating and review if you're back for the second time. Because clearly, if you're back, you like us. So let other people find out what we're doing here. Leave us a rating and review, and it really helps us get discovered. I appreciate you. We're going to get into our conversation today. Thank you for the folks sharing coffee. Love it. Love it. I need a little bit of caffeine to get going in the morning. So coffee and donuts are going around in the VIP as we get ready to go into our conversation for today. The prompt that we have as we're starting is, what do you no longer need, but you're afraid to let go of? That's the idea that we're examining. I think let's say you're going to go on a trip, right? You don't bring everything with you. You can't bring everything with you. You have to decide what's essential for the time that you will be away and for the environment at your destination. So we make decisions about if we're going to go somewhere, what we need to bring along. Also, if you're going to move, a lot of times people take that opportunity to kind of get rid of stuff, maybe have a little bit of a yard sale or donate some stuff because you realize that I got a lot of stuff here. That I don't necessarily need to bring with me to this new place. So you want to have a fresh start. Sometimes it takes being on the move to notice all the things that are weighing you down and creating impediments to your growth and sense of possibility. So this first prompt, what is something you no longer need that you are afraid to let go of? And we have a few responses here. Rachel says, processed food. I don't need that processed food. I could eat fresh food, live stuff that still has life in it. But the convenience, though, and the flavor, though, the cravings, though, right? I don't need it, but I don't know what I'm gonna do without it. That crunch, that salt, that fat, that sugar. Yeah. Noble Ancient says, I no longer need negative ideals and thoughts, but I'm afraid to let them go. Super long story that I might get into in pieces to share over time. Yeah, sometimes we feel like we are served by the negative thoughts that come up in our mind, like they are protecting us somehow. We need to be on the lookout for things that go wrong. So if I don't imagine these things, I might get caught off guard. So I don't want to do that. I want to stay on my toes. And there is some value to that, but there's also a weight that's attached to that that may not be so awesome. So J-Man says, I'm afraid to let go of the pain from my past, even though the lessons have made me who I am today. You know that you've learned something from the pain. Once you take the lessons out of it, it served its purpose. But I guess maybe there's a little bit of fear of repeating if you don't remain vigilant against the things that hurt you before. Kind of close off your sense of possibility. Your world is a little bit smaller when you operate in fear of the pain that might come. You try to find evidence that this situation is different than the one before. Or actually you try to find ways that, okay, oh no, this is happening again, you know? So, yeah. So M says, my ex, he's somewhat toxic, but in a weird way, a good friend, you know? Yeah, there's people, a lot of times we're afraid to let go of people because they have redeeming qualities, they have value in our lives, and they are important to us, and maybe we even still love them, but we also recognize that there's a cost. Big Shucks is here. Welcome in. It's good to see you. So we're thinking about, what are you afraid to let go of? What do you no longer need but are afraid to let go of? I know that sometimes your possessions can offer you a sense of security. We like to hold on to things just in case. And there's a value in being prepared for the rainy day or a storm that's on the horizon. Because, yeah, you want to be prepared. But there's also the weight of all the things that you own, because what you own also owns you. And it may be too much to carry if you intend to move forward. So we can be held in place and prevented from living our fullest potential. This is obvious when you think about physical possessions, because it's a big old hassle to pack everything up and move. But this is also true for the emotional and relational burdens that we are carrying. If you're in the process of outgrowing things, you have to shed, you know? We shed things to reach a fuller representation of our potential. We have to shed. Good morning, Quasha. Welcome in. It's nice to see you this morning. So, shed is an interesting word because a lot of the extra stuff we have, we put it in a shed to keep it, when really we should shed it and let it go. What you got in that shed? So Miss says, distractions. I don't need to distract myself anymore. My life has come together, but dealing with stress has created bad habits. Learning that distractions are to cope, which I don't need to do anymore. So there are ways that you coped with stress that no longer are useful to you, are no longer necessary. But the habit is still there, right? So what do you do with that? Good morning, Queen Victoria. Thank you for joining us today. Quasha, thank you so much for the likes. Noble, the multi-like. Yeah, I think a lot of times the ways that we cope outlive the situation that we cope with, right? The ways that we cope outlive the situations that we're coping with, and we're just kind of still doing the same stuff, and we don't even know why. It's just kind of ingrained in us. So it's useful to notice, hey, why am I still doing this? We've moved past that. Why am I still acting like this? Why am I like this? All right. So the increased sense of awareness is extremely valuable. Looking at what you're doing and just asking the question without judgment, just more with curiosity. Like, why am I still like, what's this for? What's this for? All right. So if we're ready, we can get ready to go to the next prompt. If you are ready, just drop me a heart in the chat and we can do that. Miss has got some special hearts dug down and created a special little purple heart. I like that one. Right. Queen of Hearts for Alexis, who has orientation today. All right, here we go. Steve Harvey is here. What's happening? Steve is here. Steve Harvey. All right, let me reset the request box real quick. Rebecca, thank you so much for the like. I really appreciate it. So, what do you miss about the person that you used to be? Is the next prompt. And I think that we're glad for our growth, but I think all change is accompanied by loss. And sometimes it's appropriate to mourn the loss of our former selves. We don't need to hate the person that we used to be, even if we are living in the consequences of the decisions that person made. So it could be that we can feel a little bit of sadness when we no longer have the energy. By definition, we no longer have the same time, right? We don't have as much time as we used to have, kind of by definition. So it might be worth acknowledging it and continue, as we continue to move forward, acknowledge, the person that we left behind with gratitude for how they have set us up, even if it's a little bit of a struggle that we're in. But the good news is what you lose in time and energy, you can make up in wisdom and clarity. So if nothing else, the situations that your former self created for you have given you an opportunity to gain wisdom and gain a clearer sense of what matters more. Sometimes our best teacher is our last mistake, right? Steve Harvey, thank you so much for the like. Cute butterfly, welcome in. So the question, what do you miss about the person you used to be? We might have a diminished capacity to do certain things, and like, man, back in the day, this would have been a piece of cake. Now I'm tired. Maybe you used to laugh more. And there's some things that we might have let go that we can recover. We just have to acknowledge. So Cute Butterfly, that question is for everyone. You can see it on the background. What do you miss about the person you used to be? Feel free to answer in the request box. Over to the right, the little mailbox, you can drop us a note so that we can share it with everyone. And also, everyone, just take a second to drop a green heart in the chat. Retha is listening in now, checking us out from over on YouTube. So what do you miss about the person you used to be? That's the question. So for Miss, she was bold and full of energy. She got the hell knocked out of her, but still much bold and ready to go off. Had a little bit more fire. A little bit more fire and a little bit more energy, or maybe a lot bit more. So you miss that energy and that fire. Quasha says, I miss my resilience. You feel like you were more resilient before. You don't feel like you have as much of that in you now. Miss says, my former is all gas, no brakes. So, Noble says, the person I used to be was a guided adventurer, which allowed natural insight into certain situations. Everything I used to do then now has brought me to this moment exactly in G Stream. So, there's some gratitude there. So Quasha says, you don't feel as resilient. Now things get to you a little bit more. Yeah, we can get worn down. So for my mom, it's mobility is the thing that she misses. Rebecca shares that she was naive and carefree. Well, and sometimes knowing things isn't fun. It's not fun. You can't act like you don't know. It's not fun when you can no longer act like you don't know. One of these days, I'll put one of my baby pics or little kid pics in the background for y'all. I look the same. I'll put what I got a suit on in one of them. I'll put it on with my suit, my little blue 3-piece. All right. So J-Man misses being in love and thought feeling loved in return. The drippy one, blessed. Welcome in. Thank you for joining us. Being in love and feeling loved in return is what you miss about the person that you used to be, that capacity, that openness. Rachel says, I miss being truly free and happy. Truly free and happy. Freedom. You had more freedom and you miss it. Mike is here. Welcome in, Mike. Thank you for joining us. So I guess the things that we miss are signals of, as we continue to grow, they inform us because we're going to continue to shed. We're going to move through and move past and outgrow some things. But if you look back and recognize, okay, as I move forward, this is something I want to save. This goes in the keep pile as I can move to the next phase, because this is something that I would miss if it were not here. Sometimes we don't recognize what we meant until we don't have it. And it's like, oh. So Cute Butterfly says, not having so much weight on me, please pray for me and hope I lose weight. So you miss your former body. I know a lot of us are continuing to work on our bodies. A lot of us in the room now are trying to maintain our health and our vitality in a variety of different ways. So you're definitely not alone. The drippy one says, I miss being able to go out and being drippy. It's like I used to have that drip. Now it's like, can't get out there like that anymore. I don't know. Maybe that's something that you can get back. Some of the things that we've lost, or some of the things that we are reflecting on, they're not necessarily gone forever. You know, they might not be available to you now. That doesn't have to be a permanent situation. But the fact that you miss it is a signal to be on the lookout for it. Yeah, COVID came out and snatched wigs. Everybody out here in the stocking cap. All right. All right. Thank you so much for the like. I appreciate it. So, if we're ready, go ahead and drop us another heart in the chat. We can go to the next one. J-Man got them shoulders burning. Them shoulders burning for J-Man. All right, let's see what we have here. Rebecca, thank you so much for the like. Appreciate it. Okay. So here we are want to take an opportunity to share our wisdom and experience with each other. The fact that you are here means that, to some degree, you've been able to survive changes and turmoil. You've found a way to survive it, at least intact as you are right now. You might not have done it perfectly, but maybe there are people who are going to go through or are about to go through something that you've survived, and you have some wisdom. But I think that one of the reasons that we hold on to things and remain in places that are no longer suitable is because of the familiarity of them. It gives us comfort. Even if it's not serving us anymore, it's easier to stay than it is to face the uneasiness of not knowing. Or maybe you're the type that just kind of leans into those scary places. But it's true that nothing is ever certain. Even the things that we are most certain of, there is that element that we can't control. And we know that change is going to happen whether we are ready or not. So if you reflect on your experience and, maybe you've had some major changes that you overcome, what did you do? How did you manage? So Alberto is here. Welcome in. It's good to see you, fam. Hope that you are healthy and well wherever you happen to be in the world this time. I know you travel a lot. You be on the road. So Rachel says, I look at how a situation can help me most of the time. I tend to always have blind faith. It's like I try to look at how can this help me? All right, duty calls. All right, Rachel. I'm glad that you were able to stop through. So J-Man says, the old me dealt with change and uncertainty with anxiety and depression. The new me, I be Buff J-Man and do work. Rachel, me too. I hope that you have a wonderful day. Flo the Poet, thank you so much for the like. I appreciate it. We're sharing our personal wisdom on how we deal with, how we cope with uncertainty and change. Alberto says, I like when you like to be called Spoon Daddy. So for Miss, the unhealthy way is by binge watching anything and everything. The healthy way is writing, spending time with loved ones, walking, and meditation. So when we get in that uncertain place, sometimes we can retreat and numb ourselves through getting lost in stories. Or you can lean into it a little and actually write, gain a little bit of clarity, seek out meaningful connection, get still. Yeah, because I think that ultimately when everything is kind of raging around you, if you can find a way to get still, then, you'll start to see things a little more clearly. So David T says, the harder things get, the more apparent God becomes to me. The things I learned have purpose. So when you're sitting in that uncertainty, you find meaning in there. All right, let's see what we have. Noble Ancient is sharing that I cope with uncertainty and change with insight, strategies, and sincere adaptability. Each of these three allows me to come out of the change far more experienced and stronger. So insight, strategy, sincere adaptability. Be flexible. Be strategic. Don't be reactive. I think it comes with just like a feeling that one way or another, I am, gonna make it through. I've been through stuff before. I can come with some strategy to come out on the other side. Yeah, our situations kind of give us confidence too. We face things and then we get the confidence to face more things when we have that level of awareness of our resilience and our ability to move through. So for Rebecca, I'm a military child, so change is life. I'm just used to it. I'm just used to it. All right. So, we recognize that it's inevitable that things are going to change. And there's any number of ways that we can get used to just kind of surrender to that reality. Everybody has strategies of how they survive it. A lot of times, the lighter you are, the more adaptable you are. The fewer things that you are clinging to, the easier it is to make it through, When you have a whole lot to lose, it can be terrifying. You got a lot of things that you're trying to hold on to. And, you can't hold on to them all. That's sort of that's the reason that seasons change. You have to move some of the old things out to make space. So if we're ready to go to the next one, go ahead and drop a heart in the chat. And I actually, while we are getting that one ready, we're going to have a message from our sponsors. One more response. Alberto says, I cope with uncertainty and adapt to change because it's inevitable. Change management is one of the hardest things to deal with for most, but I stay ready. If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. You dig? Yeah. If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. All right, here we are. So this is Morning Journal, session number 223. Thank you all for listening in. Wherever you happen to be listening, I appreciate you for taking a little bit of time. If you're listening to the replay, I'm glad. If you made it this far, you like it. I mean, you might as well give us a rating and review on Apple Podcast or Spotify, wherever you happen to be listening. If you're listening to the audio version, go ahead and drop that 5-star review. Rating, and then write a little review. Let people know how cool it is up in here, so that someone, might be compelled to mash that little icon and give us a listen. That's one of the great ways that we can grow. Also, I want to invite and encourage you to subscribe to the newsletter. The Morning Journal newsletter is a great way to stay in touch, to get some prompts right in your inbox, right? So that you can reflect in your own time and space. You may not always have the hour plus to hang out and be with us, but that still doesn't mean that it's not valuable for you to look at some of these prompts and maybe just use them as a way to spark some curiosity about your life and your experience throughout the day. So that's free. You can find the links to that in the description or in the show notes for this episode. And I would love to see your name pop up. Alberto, thank you so much for the support. We love it. So yeah, we are gonna go to the next prompt, and we can start thinking about the next prompt. Let me see, what is the next prompt? Okay, here's one. Here it is. Let me reset the request box. Alberto just wanted to test out all the new spoons. I love it. There's a bunch of new stuff, and it's beautiful to see. All right. Let's reset the request box. And oh yeah, I guess I will say, the coffee spoon is sort of like the official spoon of Morning Journal. The spoon team conversation I had a couple months ago, they asked me what would be a good sticker for your stream that kind of represents what you do here. And they designed it, and it's here. So if you want to give me a cup of coffee or get multiples and gifts of coffee, it's a great way to show your support for this experience specifically. So I'm glad that Spoon Team was willing to include that in the new round of stickers to kind of represent the experience that we have here every Monday through Friday. I love it. Alberto, thank you so much. Round of coffee for everybody, right? Get you some donuts and bagels too if you're hungry. All right, back to the conversation. What choice are you making that's leading you away from where you want to go? What choice are you making that's leading you away from where you want to go? So there might be some things that you say you want, right? There's some stuff that you say you want, but subconsciously you acting at odds with that stated desire. You know, it might be because of fear of failure. It might be because fear of rejection. Resistance can come from anywhere. But, you know, it could be the things that you're trying to leave behind are fighting for their survival, fighting to still be a part of your life. It could be relationships that draw you into a lower vibration. You said you wanted blank, but you ain't acting like it. So think about that. What choices are you making? What decisions, what moves are you making that are at odds with where you say you want to go? Mo is here. Welcome in, Mo. Thank you for joining us. It's great to have you. I think there's a cup of coffee somewhere sitting around for you in case you need it. Shout out to Alberto for sponsoring this session. We hit our goal for today. And that's awesome. Still in the running for that little extra little something they got for us. The extra gift cards and promotion that comes along with our performance here. So appreciate it. So choices you're making that are leading you away from where you want to go. That is the question. J-Man says, well, fortunately, I'm on the path I want to go now. So you've remedied that situation. You've remedied the situation. You are in alignment with your goals. You're not fighting, you're not sabotaging yourself and working against yourself anymore. Alberto says, I want a steady relationship, but I love these women too much. So right now I remain single until the one makes me be still. Somebody got to make Alberto go somewhere and sit down. So, hey, somebody got to sit Alberto down. Oh, man. So the choice that Miss is making that's at odds with what you want is wasting time. It's like, why am I sitting here wasting time? All right, we got an egg sandwich incoming. Rebecca says, do we want to be still, though? That's the question. Do you want to be still? There's what you want and there's what you want to want, right? It's important not to be confused to get what you want and what you want to want. Don't get those twisted, right? That brother's like, she got to work. Steve is here from the Hold Up TV. What's happening, Steve? It's good to see you this morning. There might be a cup of coffee laying around for you somewhere, Steve, if you need it. said, not Rebecca, not Rebecca pulling up. Not the jumper. All right. So Noble Ancient says, the choice I fight with every day is the day-to-day adventure and the irregularity of its events. The change in schedule time, the lack of sleep, the whole 9 yards. That's me. I tried. All right. Yeah. Tired, exhausted, sore, hurting, body breaking down. I hear you. You know, life can definitely take a toll on you. All right. A lot of times when this track comes up, we just take a moment with it and breathe a little bit. Yeah, just breathe. All right. I need a breath this morning. It started out kind of emotional for me before we started. And it took me a third, but we are together. And I'm grateful for all of you choosing to spend time with me, making me a part of your day. So we're just going to breathe in some appreciation and gratitude and presence and clarity, and inhale that. And as we exhale, we're just going to let go of the tension, the fear, and all those other things that might stand in the way of us being better versions of ourselves. Things that we are ready to let go of, just let it go. All right. Feel free to sit in this energy for a few moments if you're ready to start. The next prompt, go ahead and drop a heart in the chat and we can get ready to do that. I don't know, Alberto's showing a lot of love and support. The only one who benefits, well, we all benefit because, it helps me keep this going. So I like the fact that you're throwing flowers to someone else in my chat. I love it. All right. Chrissy is here. Good morning, Chrissy. Thank you for being here. All right. Reminder, we do have an official morning journal spoon. It's that cup of coffee. If you pop in and want to support, you can just drop me a cup of coffee and get one for yourself. Let's go ahead and get ready to go to the next prompt. Thank you so much. I think sometimes we are hardaholics. We are hardaholics anonymous, right? Sometimes we overcomplicate things and make them more difficult than they need to be. Hey, yo. Love it. Thank you so much, Alberto. I appreciate you, fam. So let's reset the request box. Hardaholic. Making things harder than they need to be. Overcomplicating things. So maybe we can just let's not do that. We can talk about ways that we can operate with more ease. I think, I believe that contained in the sincere desire that we have to create and become things, in that desire, the seed of possibility lives in there, right? When we strip away expectations and external demands and get to the core of what lights us up, we find that we can operate in a different way, on a different level. You know, that zone of excellence, or even better yet, that zone of genius. You can be fully embodied in the moment, and time just kind of melts away. You're operating without thinking. You're one with the task. You're in flow. A lot of times people experience that through play, right? When you're playing, when you're moving, we experience that sort of loss of ourself, that illusion of selfness kind of melts away, and you're just fully present. And fortunately, there's a way that we can find that space when we're creating and working as well. We can have that same quality of experience. So think about that experience and think about how much more effective you can be if you can bring more of that experience into your life. So the biggest results with the least effort, it doesn't even feel like you're working. It doesn't even feel like you're trying. It's just naturally just kind of one. You're one. If you ever experienced that, let us know. Let us know what that's like for you, if you've ever been there before. Thank you so much for the likes. I appreciate them. Enter a nickname. Thank you. All right, let's see. Hey, yo, Gibby is here. Welcome in, Gibby. Thank you for joining us. There might be a cup of coffee sitting around for you if you need that, or maybe you're just here to relax. So let's see what we have here. J-Man, thank you so much for your response. Alberto, thank you for the spoons. J-Man is saying, being self and being kind, I lose sense of time. You get the biggest results just by being yourself. Being true to yourself is absolutely a powerful way to show up with the most energy and the least effort. I think we waste a lot of energy playing, pretending, you know? So being comfortable and being kind as your nature dictates, because I know that kindness is a big part of your personality. So you get the easiest results, the best results with the least effort through kindness. All right, Mez bought some coffee for the room. If you haven't had a cup of coffee, go ahead and grab one. We appreciate it. Alberto kind of echoes that sentiment. I get my biggest results being me. It takes the least effort to be honest and allow people to see and experience the real you. That's why I'm winning and blessed. I learned that from G a long time ago. Well, that's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah, we don't have to be anybody else. Sometimes we feel like we need to, but we don't. Egg, thank you for being here. And Nick, where do you get the biggest results with the least effort? Here we go. Showing up authentically, also just being accountable. If I did a thing, I did it. Why not admit it? Own it. There you go. Alberto, thank you so much. You really got us out here crushing it today. I appreciate you, fam. Yeah, show up authentically. I admit it, own it. Y'all get it. Y'all get it. Noble Ancient says, my biggest results with the least effort is when I am in my zone of creation, brainstorming to creating a prototype to play testing the first time, even flow. And with ease, that's my success. Yeah. So this is just a demonstration that a lot of times we have the answers, right? We kind of know what we need to do. We don't always do it. Sometimes we undermine our interest, but to know that you have the wisdom to do it, like, you know, you have the wisdom, you just have to have the courage. So you have the wisdom, now you just need the courage to show up and do it, right? And I think that one of the things that gives us courage or enhances our sense of possibility is recognizing that other people are in it with you. That other people see you and can relate to the struggle that you have. You're not alone in that struggle. Sigma Ronan is here. Welcome in. Thank you for being here. So Emo says, bringing another person joy with just a few words by complimenting or validating them. That is such an easy thing to do, and it can be so transformational, both for you and for the other person. I think really it's about the noticing. The noticing is what sets you up to give that gift to people. So you were present enough to notice something great to say to someone that can brighten their day. So yeah, being there for it. There are a lot of things that we can do to make people's lives better and make the world better. Saying something nice to another person brings you more joy than them. It's a great way to elevate your own vibration. Just to see a smile spread across someone's face and know that you had something to do with making someone's day a little bit better, you know? It connects us. Yeah. And it's worth doing. It's so worth doing. It's worth it. You never know who needs it. And you just like a fairy, you know, blessing people. So Monster is here. Hello, Monster. Thank you for being here. We're talking about how you get the biggest results with the least effort. Big returns. Big returns. Noble Ancient says, I like entertaining others by simply talking to them and being a little silly in the process. Yeah. So Sigma Ronan, sending blessings for the day. I really appreciate y'all. All right. So maybe we can kind of recap. It might be a good time to recap. Yeah, let's do that. So how did we start today? We started by thinking about the parts. Oh, yeah, there's an easy way for us to do the recap. I'll put this up. All the prompts are right here on this, so we can use this for the recap. And I'll reset the request box so that you can answer any of these that stand out to you in case you missed them. So we started the conversation talking about the things that we no longer need, but we are afraid to let go of them. Yo, Alberto, thank you so much. We got an alien ship flying around. All right. So we talked about the things that we no longer need, that we are afraid to let go of. We don't need it, but we're afraid to let it go. So it can be a physical possession or an attitude or a relationship. There are things that weigh us down, that keep us in place. So the things that we own also own us, and it may be too much to carry if we intend to grow. So there might be something that you don't need, but you're holding on to it for some reason. If something comes up for you, let us know what that is. We got the box open for the recap. We didn't talk about what we miss about the person we used to be. I think as we grow, we shed. Right? We shed things. So sometimes we miss some of the things that we leave behind. And it's appropriate to mourn some of those things sometimes. Not in a, just as a way to kind of move forward and to recognize that what we might have lost in time and energy, we can make up for in wisdom and clarity, and to have gratitude for the journey that we've been on. Be grateful for the mistakes that we made and appreciate our former selves. Then we talked about coping with uncertainty and change, the different wisdom that we had to share with each other about how we deal with change, how we recognize the inevitability of change and how we face that on a day-to-day basis. And then finally, the last couple prompts were recognizing the things that we sometimes do to undermine our growth. We say we want something, but we don't act like it, So looking at those little moments of self-sabotage that we fall into. How are we doing that? And how can we get a little bit better about being more in alignment with what we say we want? Final prompt, where do you get the biggest results with the least effort? It doesn't have to be hard to do things that make a huge impact on you and on the people around you. So look for ways that you can be in flow and be present and make a huge impact in other people's lives and in your own. So that is sort of a recap of the prompts and the conversation that we've been on so far. And I appreciate everyone for, taking part in this and adding your wisdom to the conversation. It means a lot that you share with each other. We had a lot of folks pop in while I was doing the recap. You can swipe the screen over to the right. If you just got here, you want to pick one of those prompts and answer it in the request box. That would be awesome. While I do that, let me just do a quick round of shout outs to everyone listening in over in the VIP that I can see. First things first, we got to acknowledge our managers and probably someone who is seething right now in the chat because they are not wearing the manager tag. So let me remedy that. Okay, there you go. So we got managing, we have Miss Metsquick, Esso, and Rebecca. Also here today we have Monster M Alberto sponsoring this stream with all of those wonderful gifts and donations. I really appreciate that. Sigma Ronan is here. We got Kurt Cochane listening in from the very beginning. Also in the house, we got Noble Ancient, the Hold Up TV, Kaloli the Lowly. We got J-Man, Abby, EC Divine, Kit. We got Marie in here. We got Mo, and we got one anonymous listener, not logged in, but just kind of checking us out. Thank you all for being here. We do Morning Journal every Monday through Friday at 6 a.m. Eastern Time. So if you're up but want to get up and be a part of a conversation like this, we'd love to have you. If you're watching or listening to a playback, you can find a link to the VIP in your show notes or the description. And come get down with us. It's really cool in here. Also, if you're listening and you haven't already done so, subscribe to the newsletter so we can stay connected. Sometimes you might not have a whole couple hours to hang out, but you can get some prompts right in your inbox and just have a space to reflect and reorient your day in a quick and painless way. So please subscribe to the Morning Journal newsletter. It's free to subscribe. So, we're at the point now where we're going to have some VIP time, some exclusive content specifically for the VIPs. So we're going to get ready to sign out with the folks listening on the outside platforms. And we got like a whole half hour just to kind of hang out with some friends and do some bonus content. If that's something that you want to be a part of, come be a part of it. I guess that's all y'all need to know. Review, rate, like, subscribe, all that, yada, yada. We'll see y'all tomorrow. VIPs, hang tight. We got about a half hour just to kind of groove. I appreciate you.